Now, for more on holiday shopping and the global supply chain issues impacting it, let's bring in James Zahn. James is a senior editor of the Toy Insider and deputy editor of the Toy Book. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So first of all, the thing everyone usually wants to know, what will be the most in-demand products or experiences this year with toys?
So it's sort of all over the place. A lot of classic plays coming back. Things like Light Bright. You can't go wrong with it back in a new HD form. Kids are still into hoverboards. So you got things like the JoJo Siwa hoverboard. Um, the magnetic the marble runs like Hoppe has the quadrilla spirals. Legos, like we've got the Technique F-150 behind me. All of those things. Then you throw some other things into the mix, like Moose Toys has this Magic Mixies cauldron that's blowing out. All the retailers can't keep it in stock right now. And then some of your classic brands like Barbie, Hot Wheels, LOL Surprise, they're all big again, and retro play is really, really hot.
And we're also seeing a lot of these touch toys. These poppets also seem to be very popular as well. So when you look at
Yeah.
everything that's out there, then what are the projected sales and spending levels looking like for toys this holiday season versus previous years?
So the interesting thing is, despite the supply chain jam ups, we're looking at potentially double-digit increases. The first 9 months or so of the year, NPD said that the toy industry in the U.S. was up 17%. It was up 11% just in the third quarter. And then going into Q4 here, last month, the U.S. Census Bureau said that retail sales were up about 16.3%, and that's going to carry momentum. Even though the shelves may be bare of certain items that you might be looking for, there are other great toys and games out there. And that's going to mean that mom and dad and all the grandparents, they're going to be buying gifts. And since folks seem to be kind of cash flush right now, end result is going to be some double-digit increases at the register.
And usually when you have this consumer demand, this is very welcome news for retailers. But what are some of the key issues really weighing on retailers as we head into the holiday shopping season and they're trying to stock the shelves and manage expectations?
Yeah, so the strange thing this year is that we're having these regional outages, and that has to do with the domestic issues in the supply chain. We've heard all about the ships and everything and getting things from China to the US and the jam ups at the ports. Well, now we've got all these shortages with truckers and dock workers, and rail is jammed up. And this is really creating this weird situation where, like, you could go into a retailer by your house and find completely full shelves. It does not look like there's an issue at all. But then your neighbor in the next town over might go to their store and find completely bare shelves. Or a state over might be short on a certain category or product that you've got plenty of, or vice versa. There is no way to predict with any type of precision what's going to be in stock, where, and when. And over the past few years, there's been this huge omni-channel push, like shop online, pick up in the store. That's messed up this year because a lot of these items, you're going to possibly find the better selection in your local store. You're not going to want to wait to order online because the lead times are longer and because the inventory levels are so out of whack. Sometimes you can't even add it to your cart to pick it up at your local retailer. So it's sort of an all bets are off situation,
Right.
but rest assured, there will be toys.
So then, does starting these Black Friday sales even earlier than usual help or further exacerbate the supply chain issues?
The sales haven't really started early. This has been a huge push the last couple of years, and as we saw last year, that's where they really did move early. This year's been fairly normal. So we're already seeing a little bit of discounting from the Walmarts and the Targets of the world, but it's not necessarily a new for 2021 situation. This is something that's been happening the past few years, and the pandemic may have amplified it. But of course, if you're running a sale like buy one toy, get one 50% off, and there's not fresh stock coming in tomorrow, that could become a problem. So you also have this issue where the selection today may be different than what's going to be there next week and not what you're thinking. Not, oh, they're all going to be out of stock. There may be new toys next week that weren't there this week because they were supposed to be there in October.
So then just very quickly then, what ripple effects are you most worried about in terms of inflation, shortage of materials, or even perhaps labor concerns?
All of the above, labor concerns for sure. Stores can't stock the shelves if there's nobody there to do it. Deliveries can't happen if there's no truckers there to do it. I think domestically, that's the biggest issue right now. We are starting to see some trickle down from the chip shortages with some of the electronic toys, particularly in the preschool category. So that could be a problem. But all of those are sort of taken away by the fact that between mass and your independent specialty stores, there just is a lot of product out there if folks are really looking for it.